Hi, my name's Andy and I'm from debnroo.com, and I'm here today to demonstrate how to clean a Drinkwell Big Dog Fountain. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go through the different parts that are part of this entire package. We of course have a big reservoir, part of the 2.25 gallon capacity of the Big Dog Fountain, and it removes actually just by lifting it up. The jar has a lid that comes off just like that, and inside the top of the lid is what's known as an O-ring. And it's just a little black rubberized ring that seals the top of the lid to the jar. Next, we've got the housing, which is the top part of the fountain, and the lid on top of that, which snaps into place. So when we take the lid off, we find inside the filter, and this is an original 2-chamber filter. And the housing comes off from the base of the fountain by pinching on the side 2 little indentations. Once I get this off here, I'm going to show it to you. And you can see there's a little bit of an indentation here, and then one on the other side, and there's 2 little hooks. And so what happens is you're able to pinch on those just a little bit, the plastic flexes, and that pulls right up. The 2 remaining parts, I'm going to tilt the bowl this way so that you can see inside, are the stator and the flow control knob. The stator covers the impeller blades, and then the flow control knob has places for the intake of the water, and then the turning of it, of course, controls how much water goes into the system. And what this exposes is inside here the pump impeller. These are the actual blades that spin around and actually send the water up into the housing. Now, in order to clean this, we actually want to remove the pump. And to do that, we turn the fountain over, and on the underside, we see the fountain. There's actually a little indentation here for your finger, but you can usually just grab it by just taking your fingers and putting them along the edge, and you only have to turn it a quarter turn. Goes 90 degrees like that, and once it's gone that quarter turn, just wiggle it a little bit, and the whole pump comes out. Once the pump is removed, it's actually something to be cleaned on its own as well. I'm doing this all, of course, dry, and this is just for the demonstration purpose. And when we're cleaning the fountain, we're going to use the Drinkwell 3-brush cleaning kit. We have the largest one, which has very rigid blades and a sponge on the end. Then we have the medium brush, and this is for cleaning specific tubes in the corners. And then we have the smallest brush, and this is actually what I'm going to show you right now. So the pump has an impeller, and that is this little white area here. These are the blades that spin. The other end of the impeller is a magnet, and that's actually what holds it in place, and it's that magnet that causes the impeller to spin. This goes inside the pump, sitting on top of a little pin inside there. There's a hole at this end of the impeller, and it's very easy to take in and out. The inside of this pump, though, can get filled with debris, things like dog food or even hair. And so it needs to be cleaned once a week. And we use this brush, and it's fitted perfectly to get around on the inside of this impeller hole. And we kind of want to spin it around, and we want to make sure that we get all debris out from the inside of this. It can actually harm the functionality of the pump. Once we're done cleaning that, we can then install it back into the bottom of the pump. Excuse me, the bottom of the bowl. So again, we hold it at a 90-degree angle. And once we have it in place, we just give it a turn. Now the pump's back in. The next thing we want to do is clean out the base area. You can use a regular sponge, but if you want to use this brush with the sponge on the end, it actually cleans up this whole area very well. It fits in. You can use the brush bristles to get any debris that might be caught along the edges. And this cleans the whole area. Next, we want to clean the housing. Now the housing is where the water comes up and then comes out the spout on the front. And so the way that the water gets there is through a hole. I guess I'll show it in this direction. there's a hole right here. It's called the riser tube. And this brush here is fitted perfectly to clean that out. Kind of want to twist it around, again, to get any debris that might be caught up inside there. The other areas of the housing, you can use both brushes, both the larger one to clean out, and then in the corner areas, this smaller one works very well. A tiny brush can be used if there's any really, really tight areas that you need to get something loose from. Once the housing is clean, it goes back onto the fountain, and in order to get this all put together correctly, the stator has to be over the pump, and the flow control knob, you have to hold with one hand while you put the housing down. And the reason for that is, I need both hands to show this, there's a little ridge right here. And that little ridge has to be caught behind the plastic from the housing. And that's what holds it in place. So you hold it together with one hand, you push the housing down with the other, and it'll actually snap back in place. Once you have that in place, then you take a new filter, and you put it in with the black side facing forward towards the pump. And at this point, before putting the lid on, it's a good time to actually fill the housing with water. You want this filled to full capacity. So fill the housing with water, then fill the base of the fountain, and then take the full reservoir and place that in place. So the lid goes back on top like this, snaps in place. The reservoir jar, we want the lid to be on tight. Put that back in place, and now we have a clean Drinkwell fountain. Hope you found this video to be informative. I hope you'll shop with us at debnroo.com. Thank you.